Hey, welcome. We're going to talk about the mini celebrity status, new way to run ads that attract the rich and people who have money, right? So let's get right into it here. When I say targeting the rich, what do I define as quote, quote, rich? Well, how many millionaires are in the U.S. right now? According to recent study, almost 24.5 million millionaires live in the United States, okay? That's more people than the entire population of Florida. I got this out of CNBC, I believe, and it's growing rapidly. So when I define rich, I define people with a net worth of $1 million or more, or people with six-figure incomes, okay? And that's who we're trying to reach, a combination of those, so that we can have better quality people who have money. Now, does any of this guarantee you will? Not at all. You might just attract homeless people. But this is what we're trying to do, and it's worked for me. So who am I? Real quick, right? You might have seen all my videos already, but real quick, as a pastor in Canada and a bit in the U.S. Till 2005, went full-time in my coaching business. I'm from Canada, like I said, the Rockies, near Calgary, above Montana. And I currently moved to Vegas in 2020, right? When, everything shut down with my wife. I have 25 years and kids, and I've invested over $4 million into ads, coached over 1,200 people. So let's get into it here, okay? Here's the problem that's going on with Facebook ads. And the problem here and the opportunity is going to help you understand the psychology of how we're positioning our ads properly. So Facebook has changed, and I've talked about this in other videos if you've seen it, where they're putting in audience controls now, where they're basically broadening everything. They're forcing your ads to huge groups of people, and it's causing a lot of problems. And basically what Facebook has done is they've said, we want to make it so simple to run ads that you give us your credit card, your domain name, tell us, how much you want to pay for a lead, and give us your daily budget, and we'll just deliver you leads, whatever that lead is, right? And whatever it means. And they're doing it. The problem is they're very unqualified if you're looking for coaching prospects. And this is the Advantage Plus audience controls, which you should turn off always. Targeting's gone, right? Like I used to be able to target John C. Maxwell, who's a big business coach. And that used to be, you can target millions of his followers. Can't target a lot of these anymore. And that's gone away. And the other thing is these ads, the way these ads are being put out, this is a traditional ad where you would have a picture of the beach or something like that, or a picture of a person, and then the wording above it and below it. And I have that 300-word ad template, and it should be linked below this video. And I talk about how to create the ad text, and that ad text usually has a read more option here, and then they can expand it and read it. It's important, but less and less people are doing that. And so let me just explain why, if you're not scaling on ads, a lot of you are, but why you should be right now. And the biggest reason is ChatGPT, right? Because what's happening is your ideal clients are sitting on ChatGPT all day long. They're getting over 2.5 billion prompts a day. 330 million of those are from the US, and 100 billion words a day. People are going to ChatGPT, and what they're doing is they're creating content, coaches, and dumping it on all the social media sites, all this garbage content. And what it's doing is it's making so that the amount of people who see your posts way less, it's working less, it's way harder. And so we need ads to cut through the noise and to scale to that next $30,000 month within your coaching business. And the other thing is we're in a season, never before, that has changed like never before. So, over 244 years, Encyclopedia Britannica had stopped, and this is in March of 2012. And the reason why I illustrate this is they wrote this method, the encyclopedia, for 244 years, and then it's done. And a lot of people who are familiar with the Encyclopedia Britannica are like, the quality was way better because anybody can, update, Wikipedia pages, and it's not as accurate. It's like, well, nobody cares, right? Nobody's tried to revive this, and that's been since 2012. And it's one of the biggest shifts in terms of information in the history of America, really. And it's happening now. where ChatGPT is taking over. 700,000 hours of YouTube videos are uploaded every day. And you need to get to your people because your social media reach is going down. You might be getting lots of clients off social media right now, off your posts, off your boosted posts and all that stuff. But the problem is, it's going to get harder and harder, and you've hit the law of diminishing returns where you might have tens of thousands of followers and you're making good money, but it's just going to get harder. You're going to have to keep posting more to get less, posting more and more, and the quality is going to continue to drop. Okay. And nobody wants your free stuff anymore. Nobody cares about your 3 free secrets because ChatGPT can give it to them, right? And number 3, AI is finding people who look like people who you're reaching with organic, which means AI on Instagram, Facebook, wherever are not finding you quality people who are becoming followers. A lot of garbage. I talk to coaches who have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, 200,000 followers on Instagram, all this kind of stuff. And they're just getting garbage, like absolute garbage quality. And it's because a lot of this AI, and nobody trusts coaches anymore. And you're starting at a trust level of minus 100. So that's why we have to use a new ad strategy. And the bigger reason is, and then I'll explain to you why, is because Facebook uses what I call a pie slice audience mapping. Okay, and this is very important. So in your ad account, when you go in and you look at it, there's this thing called frequency. And what's happening is Facebook is running your ad, if this is your audience here on the right, to a very small pie slice of your audience. And it's usually around 1%. And what happens is that frequency, you can see it says 1.5, 1.6, 2.5, something like that. So they lock into this pie slice, and then they just start showing your ad to the same people again and again and again and again and again. And what that means is they're usually locking into the wrong people. And they're doing it because they only will ever lock into about 1%. And we have to get your ads into the right 1%, or you're not going to reach the right people. Okay. And so why the old way is dead? Targeting doesn't work. Facebook wants to hijack your ad account with all these, Advantage Plus stuff. Gurus who are showing you how to use things are based on the Andromeda update. It's not accurate. And that was an update that happened in the summer of 2025. And sales funnels are not working in 2026. So here's what we have to do with your messaging. And I'm going to show you 2 ad examples. And this is what you need to be doing with your ads. So I'm going to show you this one first. This is a basic ad. This is the ad tech, or this is the image, right? Now, we have a training on the 300-word ad method in another video, and it's linked below here on the ad text that we recommend now for coaches who are trying to scale. But do you see what I'm trying to do here? The first thing I'm trying to do is target coaches spending over 100 a day on Facebook ads. Now, this headline, what I'm trying to do is we work with coaches who are not spending $100 a day on ads all the time. I work with coaches who know what they're doing and are trying to scale. And sometimes they're scaling on organic or whatever. And now they want to use ads. They're spending 20 a day, 30 a day, 50 a day, 100 a day, 200 a day. But what I'm trying to do is message out the newbies. Okay. And these are the people who are brand new. They're just like, yeah, I want to be a coach. I hear I can get rich and make a quick $100,000 a year of coaching because I hate my life. We can't help those people because they suck at what they do. And so what we've done is we write this ad in such a way that what it does is it repels the newbies. Does that make sense what I'm doing here? So it's not necessarily that we need these people, although that's what we like, but we just don't want those people. So for example, if you're a health coach, and I use health coaching as an example because it's just easy. Everybody knows weight loss, right? It's a common thing. If you're a weight loss coach, I'm going to say, hey, are you making $200,000 a year trying to lose 30 plus pounds, but you're too busy in your career that takes 60 to 70 hours a week and you don't have time to go to the gym. Now, what's that going to do? That messaging is going to push away anybody who is broke, who's like, oh, I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then in here, I talk about the pain. So what's the problem? Well, in our case, we know funnels stop working. And so they need an ecosystem. So we're talking about using an ecosystem. And then what the call to action is, in this case, is get a school, go to our school group, right? And so my point is, what we're trying to do here is repel everybody and only attract the qualified people. And you'll see this here. Now, this one here is full-time coaches spending money on Facebook ads, right? What I'm trying to do is message it only to coaches who are spending money on ads. But if they're not, that's okay. You might be making $5,000, $10,000 a month on organic and networking and referrals and all that kind of stuff, but they want to. So but what I'm trying to do is, again, get rid of the newbies who are like, yeah, I want to be a coach. I'm going to be life coach, mindset coach. Should I be a health coach, money coach? Should I, just those biz oppers whose life is a train wreck. And now they're just decided they're going to be a coach, or maybe I'll trade Bitcoin full time, or maybe I'll be a realtor. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? Because they're in your market too, and you don't like dealing with them. And so what I'm trying to, and now here is, talking about how prospects are sending 5K plus on coaching. And they only want to work with people they trust. And I got the template in here. And so what I'm trying to do is this. Do you see how this is working here? So you need to use this type of ad. Now, does it help if it's a picture of you? No, actually it doesn't at all. If it's remarketing and retargeting, it does, but these work just fine. Now, what do you put on these ads? So what I want to do is go down here, get my presentation to drop down to the next slide. How do we message people? So who do you want to repel? Who's the person that if they hit your pixel, Meta would go get more broke people like them? Who's the one who always says no on your sales calls? Who can you say in your ad to not click, right? The secret is you don't tell them you are pushing them away. Now, in here, in my ad, I never say, hey, if you're new, don't click this ad. It's not for you. Because the newbies are kind of weird. They'll just be like, oh, I'll show you and I'll click your ad, right? And you don't want to do it. They'll be like, oh, what's this? Maybe I can be like that, right? What is your ideal client doing that is costing them resources to not work with you? You need to get that in your ad. Interested coaching prospects don't become buyers. This is super important. Don't target interested people. Interested people waste your time. You can't body slam somebody interested into buying. You know that. All these calls you do with people who are interested, they have to be trying something. So when you see on my ad here, what are they trying? They're trying Facebook ads in most cases. They're using, a lot of our clients are people who want to work with us are using funnels. They're doing things that cost something. There's, in this case, in the weight loss case, so they're trying a personal trainer. They're spending money on supplements. They're using weight loss drugs that are not working. Are any of these things wrong unto themselves? Absolutely not. It's just not working for them, right? You do not put on their uncommitted stuff or, say like, hey, are you trying to lose 30 pounds and you have a $20 gym membership? You're going for walks daily. You're buying books and you're watching YouTube videos and using ChatGPT to create meal plans. If you put this on your ad, you are going to attract the brokest of the broke. Okay. You will hate your life. All right. You need to message people who are actually spending money because that means, well, they have money, right? And they're committed to this. Okay. Now, the next thing you need to do is qualify them. Don't target high achievers. Don't target busy moms. Don't target hard workers. Those are all aspirational. Okay. It has to be about income if possible. Target that buyer mindset, right? That buyer mindset of like, are they working 50 plus hours a week and they're C-suite entrepreneurs? Are they, making 150K a year? Like, what is the buyer mindset? And just remember, just because they have money doesn't mean they'll give it to you. Okay. You have to have all these other things. And then the most important thing is you need to shift their belief system, right? What do they need? What do you need them to believe? What are they believing about your market that is going to keep them from buying? Okay. Why should they believe that you can shift their beliefs? What are other coaches telling them that will hold them back? What common information are they consuming them that's keeping them from trusting you? Why won't they trust you right away? Right? What do broke prospects believe that you need to shift? What is somebody with money and a problem and desire to believe? What's holding them back, right? Get that in the ad because here's the problem. All right. The brutal math, and I've talked about this before. You might be like, geez, this guy just keeps going over the same stupid thing over again. Here's the reality. Your funnel is a disaster. Okay. And the reason why you're not achieving the level of success and you're not adding that extra 20, 30,000 a month like you want to be, and quite frankly should be, is because your funnel. It's most likely not because of childhood money issues or any of these other things that weird coaches have told you. The reality is this. If you're buying 100, say you get 100 or 1,000 clicks from ads or even organic, maybe Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, sending you 1,000 clicks to your website, you're only going to get 15% are going to give you an email address. Of those 15%, maximum 10% is going to book a call. Okay. Of those 10%, you're going to have half will show up, maybe a little more. Of those, only 3 or 4 are going to be qualified. And of those, probably 1 or 2 are going to buy maximum. So on a good month, 0.2% of these 1,000 people are going to give you money. The margin for error is so slim. You have to be perfect on every call. Your energy has to be absolute dead on perfect. And most coaches hate doing sales calls, obviously, right? You're a coach. You're not a salesperson. And so the bottom line is this doesn't work. And so what a lot of coaches are doing is they're taking the ads that I give them and they're putting it on top of here into Facebook, and they're just trying to get cheaper leads and better leads and stuff. And it's not filtering all the way down. So the way we shift this is your ad goes in here using the 300-word ad method, using the ad copy I'm sharing with you now. It goes in here. Then we use that pie slice and we get Facebook to go into the right pie slice of people who have money. Because remember, what happens is if you see up here, if we message your ad properly, Facebook's going to go into the right pie slice. Where is it here? They're going to go into the right pie slice and find you the right people. Okay. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to move faster by dropping down here. And then what's going to happen is we're going to be able to, the ad here, get the right people. We're going to drive them to your long form content, right? And then in that long form content, what are you going to do? What you're going to do is you're going to shift their belief system to get them to see you as the only option and only want to work with you, right? And we do that a couple ways. We can use certain automated webinars that get 60 to 70% show up rates. We use Skool communities, which are not communities. Skool groups are designed to put your content in to give your client a unique experience to consume your content, and so you can help shift their belief system and book calls. Ideally, we want to get quite a few calls booked out of here, and we get them booked on your enrollment calls. Then we hook them into your symptomatic email system, which is strategically designed to shift their belief system. Then short form content, which means we're taking them, looping them through this way to get them onto your short form content, not like go viral and hope that, the algorithms show your people to the right people and this and that. It's a disaster. So if you're posting on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or something like that, we're going to use the ads to get them into your long form content onto your list, and we're going to get those people over there so you get the right people. And you can build a relationship with them, and they can book calls there too. But the symptomatic email list book calls, the long form content book calls. And then when people book calls, we feed that information back to Facebook's Pixel and Facebook uses that data to find more people who look like the people who are booking calls. So this all starts with that ad that we're talking about, but that's a piece of it. If you just go, hey, I'm going to take this ad and change up my stuff and launch it, why bother? Don't even bother. You need the ecosystem. Okay, funnels are not working. They lose too much energy and leads, and they're based on lead volume, where this is based on lead efficiency, and it gets people to know you better because remember, the market has shifted. Nobody trusts coaches. Everybody's got a funnel. Everybody's doing all these crazy things out there. It's not working. Okay. Where the ecosystem is hooked together and it builds energy. It gets people to see you as the only option and gets them to want to work with you. All right. So just putting it all together here, what you need to do is this. Remember, everything is about the messaging. Meta ads are your best hope and only hope for scaling in 2026. They're working better than ever before for coaches who know what to do. Ecosystems have completely replaced funnels, And you must shift your market's belief versus provide information. Coaches who are focused on giving good information and lots of value are going to be out of business in 2026 and 27 because your market does not need more information. Okay. Your ideal client gets everything they need from ChatGPT and YouTube. Between the two of them, they don't need your information. They don't need your free PDFs. They don't need your free videos. They don't need your free reports. They need your coaching. And the only way that we're going to do that is we have to shift their belief systems. And then we use ads to grow organic. It's a totally different way, and it's works faster than ever before. It's how Jeremy, who helps people play the trumpet, has scaled to $30,000, $40,000 months and been able to, charge over $5,400 for his coaching. Natalie, she makes over $100,000 a month as a love coach. Sid, $30,000+ a month as a mindset coach for business owners. Jen, over $1 million in last year as a business coach. And Dawn helped $25,000 a month helping coach women in narcissistic marriages. And like I've talked about many times, a lot of these women are in marriages where their husband's even controlling the money, and yet Dawn's charging over $5,000. So there's no reason you can't do this. And it's time to join where the future is, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, this is the future. This is how coaches are getting rich. This is how coaches are scaling. This is how coaches are getting their time back, their life back. They're making more money and doing less sales calls because it's working better than ever before. So what I want to do is two things, okay? First of all, we want to give you a free 15-minute, no sales call on the mini celebrity status ads ecosystem. On this call, figuring everything out by yourself is the most expensive way to do it. We want to help you for free. Every month you do this wrong is lost income. If you made 10 grand in the last 30 days, but you should be making 30 grand, well, that's 20 grand. That's not your bank account. That should be, right? Everything also is about messaging, trust, and getting to see you is the only option because people want to work with you. They don't care about, content. They want you. Okay. And the next thing is we're in a new season. Coaches who get it are going to be making the most money, are going to be having the best lifestyles, and are going to be helping the most people if you make this shift. And there's no reason you can't because you're ahead of the curve right now. It's literally like the funnel days of when in 2010 that we wrote it till 2023. Okay. And the ecosystem model is working better than ever before. So what I want you to do is click the link below, book your mini celebrity status ads ecosystem, 15-minute, no sales calls, nothing to buy. We're going to map out the plan for your ads, show you what to do, show you what's working, how to scale, what's working best at that extra 10 or 20,000 a month, what to do, what to say, what not to say. It's a free call. It's for our Skool community members only. And we're going to work with you on that. And then the other thing is if you haven't, the mini celebrity stat or the 300 word ad template video is down below here as well. So book your call first and then watch that next video on the 300 word ad template. And it works well with this because look, the future's bright. Okay. There's no reason you can't add that next 10, 20, 30,000 a month to your coaching business. The best way to do it's with an ecosystem. And we've talked to hundreds of people in the last 12 months about this on these free calls, giving them advice, feedback, because here's the reality. You're all alone. We're all by ourselves. Nobody else is in my office with me, and this is a lonely business. And if you just got to sit here and watch video after video trying to piece everything together, you're missing the whole point. Okay. You haven't done this successfully yet or to the degree of success that you want. Why not have a call with us? We've invested millions into ads. We know what metrics you need to be looking for. We know what the KPIs are on your ads. We know what the price points that you should be having. We're going to give you some feedback on the messaging and call's free. All right. Nothing to buy, nothing for sale. If you want to talk about my coaching, we can talk about that for a minute or two at the end of the call and then potentially set up a second call for that. But this call is all about you and getting things working and showing you what to do next. Plus, we're going to unlock some free training for you that's normally reserved for our clients. All right, book that call, number one, the link below. Then number two, if you haven't already, watch the 300 word ad strategy video next.